Ladies and gentlemen, let me first also join the Governor of Nairobi in welcoming you to this city and to Kenya, and to say how delighted that I am to join all of you on this occasion of the 124th session of the International Coffee Organization and the ICO Council, which is proudly hosted here in the city of Nairobi. The choice of Kenya to host this session is a welcome recognition by the International Coffee Organization fraternity of our country's contribution as the member of the ICO, as well also of our place within the global coffee sector. And once again, on behalf of the people of Kenya, I extend our warmest thanks and appreciation to the International Coffee Organization Council for granting our nation this privilege. And indeed, you are all welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, the International Coffee Organization's mission, statement of strengthening the global coffee sector and promoting its sustainable expansion within a market-based environment for the betterment of all participants in the coffee sector, end of quote, recognizes four fundamental truths about coffee in today's world. Firstly, coffee is a cash crop that provides livelihoods to millions of persons living in coffee-growing and exporting countries. Many people in this room owe their education, prominence, and prosperity to coffee, having been raised in homes where coffee was the principal income-generating cash crop. Whole communities and even national economies are immeasurably better off because of coffee. Secondly, the mission statement recognizes that there is still room to strengthen the coffee sector, both within importing and exporting countries themselves, as well as globally. Thirdly, the International Coffee Organization's mission statement acknowledges that strengthening and expansion of the coffee industry must be sustainable. The development of the coffee sector that we all desire must be done in a way that meets the needs of the present without compromising the needs of future generations. An environmentally conscious coffee trade across the entire length of the supply and consumption chain that secures the sector today as well as tomorrow. Lastly, the International Coffee Organization mission statement recognizes that the benefits of the sustainable development and expansion of the coffee trade, both at local and international levels, must be shared by all participants. Coffee's future cannot be bright if some of the participants in the coffee industry do not receive their just dues. Ladies and gentlemen, coffee is the most traded commodity globally after petroleum. Its production has increased from slightly over 95 million bags in the year 1988-89, crop year, to 158 million bags in the year 2017-2018. Nevertheless, this growth has taken place against the backdrop of broad stagnation of the sector, especially within sub-Saharan African countries. It is notable that between 1990 and the year 2016, Africa's share of the total value of coffee's global exports fell from 21% in 1990 to only 9.4% in the year 2016. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not good news for Africa, and this story must change. The industry's development in Africa has been slowed down by a myriad of challenges, which include, among other things, rising costs of production, international coffee price volatility, land use pressures, just to mention but a few. In Kenya, the subsector has also experienced a steady downward trend, with production falling from a high of approximately 130,000 metric tons in the 88-89 crop year to a low of about 40,000 metric tons at present. But interestingly, as the executive director has just said, and I also agree with Donald Turo, notwithstanding the decline in production, Kenyan coffee continues to fetch premium prices in international markets, largely on account of its high quality. But paradoxically, these premium prices do not trickle down to the farmers, who by and large are small-scale producers. This phenomena, though not unique to Kenya, represents the single greatest challenge to the continued prominence of the coffee industry. In recognition, therefore, of the importance of the coffee subsector in the promotion of our overall development agenda, my administration has initiated a number of institutional, legal, and support service interventions which are intended to reverse the negative trends in the coffee industry and assure the future of coffee farming in Kenya. Some of the key interventions we made include the ambitious rehabilitation of 500 pulping stations or factories in 31 coffee-growing counties, the rehabilitation and provision of planting material, and advancements in research as well as extension services. Furthermore, and with a view to comprehensively resolve the problem of undue delays in the payment cycle, we have, as of this year, set up a Kenya shillings 3 billion Cherry Advance Revolving Fund to be operational from July 1 of this year. Consequently, all coffee farmers across the country will be able to access the Cherry Advance at a modest interest rate of 3% per annum. At the heart of Kenya's reform package for the coffee sector is our operationalizing of the long overdue Kenya Commodities Exchange. This new regulatory framework will liberalize the coffee sector, ushering in an era of direct marketing by cooperative societies from across the country. To protect the sweat of the brow of coffee farmers, my administration has embarked on a program to entrench the principles of good corporate governance within the internal management of cooperatives across the country. This intervention is in line with the aspiration of members of all cooperatives for well-managed, financially stable, efficient units able to deliver on their mission of enhancing benefits accruing to individual members through enhanced resource mobilization as well as economies of scale. In this regard, we have, through the State Department of Cooperatives, embarked on the task of formulating an appropriate legal framework for annual audits of all cooperatives in the country, with the ensuing audit accounts being presented to the Cabinet Secretary within 6 months of the end of every calendar year, with simultaneous release to the entire membership of the cooperative movement and the public immediately thereafter. The inaugural audits under the forthcoming enhanced regulatory framework will cover the calendar year 2019 and shall be submitted by all cooperatives on or before the 31st of December 2019. These reforms are farmer-centric and have been designed to boost production, reduce the cost of processing and milling, as well as the transaction costs in the auction market. In addition to this, we have taken steps to incentivize the youth and women to participate in the value chain and, in consequence, increase domestic consumption of coffee and mitigate against price volatility. Like many exporting nations, we are also targeting increased municipal consumption, while at the same time increasing the brand prominence and recognition of our coffee in international markets. And as part of this strategy, we are aggressively marketing globally to increase Kenya's market share in Europe and the United States, as well as the emerging Asian markets. It is worth emphasizing in all our efforts to reposition the coffee industry in Kenya, we remain well guided and are therefore adopting methods and technologies that prioritize environmentally sound cultivation, just labor conditions, fair remuneration and pricing, and which preserve current players while attracting new ones. With these efforts already underway and beginning to reap rewards, it is my pleasure to confirm to you all that the status of coffee in Kenya is strong and our future outlook remains positive. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I urge this conference to reflect deeply on the issues facing the coffee sector and to focus your discussions towards developing lasting solutions that resonate with the needs, desires, and realities of all participants in the sector. I personally look forward to receiving your proposals, and I assure you of our readiness as a government and a country to embrace them to grow this important subsector. Let me also at this point thank all those who have worked tirelessly to make this conference a success. Lastly, I again join the Governor of Nairobi that at the end of this conference, you may find time to tour this wonderful city, and if you can, extend your stay in Kenya and sample some of the attractions that our beautiful nation has to offer. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, with these very brief remarks, it is indeed my pleasure to declare this 124th session of the International Organization Coffee Council officially open and to wish you fruitful deliberations. Thank you.